on the set in 3, 2, 1, going live.
All right, Don, here we go again. Welcome to another episode of HB Unplugged. I'm Mel Craig.
Yes, and I'm Don Ramsey.
And we got a special guest. Now, it's really cool when new people come into Huntington Beach. Actually, you've been here before, obviously. But this is special because you're taking on a new role, new position, and we're excited to have you. So, Don, why don't you introduce our guests?
Okay, tonight we're going to have Max Daffron speaking about Huntington Beach and his relationship to the town. And he is the new president of the Chamber of Commerce here
President
in
and CEO,
Beach.
yeah.
Yes, sir. It's good to be here.
Yeah, rocking out. So, we just, when you walked in, first thing I said is, so how's your first week? And you're like, oh my God, yeah.
It's been a lot, man. It's been a whirlwind, but it's great. It's great.
So, when it comes, a lot of people don't realize what the chamber is all about. What do you do in a chamber meeting? What benefit does the HB community derive from the Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, so chambers of commerce take a lot of different forms nationally. You have opportunities. Some chambers are all event-based, where you're talking golf tournaments, meet and greets, things like that. We do some of those things as well.
Right, yeah, I've been involved in some of them.
Exactly. There's my, gracious plug for the golf tournament that'll be next summer.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that. You like that? But as well with that, community interconnectedness, getting the business community out, but also one of the big things we're trying to do here with the Huntington Beach Chamber of Commerce moving forward is business advocacy and really providing a voice for our business community. We're a community that is very often in the news, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. We're usually the headlines.
Right? And we're normally the headlines. But then what does our business community think about that? How does that affect their bottom line, their day-to-day, who is their voice? And that's really what I'm trying to do here coming in as the new president of the Chamber of Commerce, is provide a unified voice for our business community.
And so how does that happen? I know that Sean Woods, we know him. He was here on the podcast. I've known Sean for probably, I don't know, eight years.
I've known him too, yeah.
And so how did all this come about that you became the new president of the Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, so the Chamber, I appreciate you asking that, Don. The Chamber had been without a dedicated CEO for several years.
Yeah.
A little bit of backstory on myself. I had previously worked for the city of Huntington Beach back in the day. The last 7 years I had been in Colorado doing economic development work, municipal economic development. So this is like business attraction, business retention type work, strengthening that economic ecosystem in a community, right?
Right. Sort of like a Kelly Miller.
Yeah, sort of. So, like a visitors bureau is you can consider that an economic development form, but in the form of like tourism development, versus a chamber, which is more of the private side advocacy. When you're talking advocating, oftentimes with the city, sometimes at odds with the municipality, sometimes advocating on a state, national level,
Wow.
And then you have municipal economic development staff, right, who do things like. I know the city's got a good team here right now. I was part of
Chris Casanova.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was part of that city economic development team years ago in City of Huntington Beach. Actually, it's when I first met you, Don, back.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I was with the city from 2013 to 2019. And so I was doing work in Colorado, and a recruiter reached out to me that the Huntington Beach Chamber of Commerce was looking for a new president and CEO. And,
so somebody made a decision, said, hey, we got to get somebody here. It's been too long. Yeah.
So Sean, who was the chair of the board last year, and a couple of the other executive board members had been talking about, we really want to get the chamber back to being a major player in our economic ecosystem here in Huntington Beach and in Orange County. And how do we do that? And so a good way to do that is to bring on a dedicated president and CEO who does those things like strategic planning, defining that mission, vision, goals,
right,
and really driving that ship forward, right? And so a recruiter reached out to me to participate in that process and had a conversation with my wife, and which is funny because we moved to Colorado originally to follow her for her job. And she said, "Oh my God, I'd love to move back to California."
Oh,
and
Huntington
especially
Beach.
Huntington Beach.
Yeah,
exactly,
Beach.
especially Huntington Beach,
Yeah.
where I am from, where my family still lives, where I grew up, and all of that. And so I gladly threw my hat in the ring in that process, and I was lucky enough to be selected by the executive committee throughout a pretty competitive process. And it's like I said, it's been a week, but it's been one heck of a week, man.
Yeah, well, you're stepping into, you just said it. There's a couple years with no one sitting in that seat. And
Oh, yeah.
So I can't imagine what's on your shoulders right now.
Okay,
but
so wait. So How did you? I mean, so you've been on the job now for a week.
Yep.
But so when did you come to town? When did you make the final decision? How did you process
absolutely.
all that and move? Or I mean, are you still moving? Or
So we got back to Huntington Beach. I loaded my wife and kids up on a plane on Halloween at 7 a.m. I drove back home. They came out here and went trick-or-treating with Grandma and had the time of their lives, so they had a great time.
Oh, good.
But I went back home, met movers, loaded pods all day, and then the next day hopped into my truck, which was also filled to the brim with a bunch of our goodies, and drove back home. I'm still living out of a suitcase. I'm actually going to go start unloading pods tonight.
Wow, we're honored you came here instead of unloading the pot. Well,
Hey.
actually, being here is probably better than unloading a suitcase.
Oh yeah. I'm very exhausted, but it's okay. I'll just be more tired. But,
You know, you did mention your family, and we kind of really like to hear a little bit about that because, you know, I've always shared this, and Don understands the sentiment here where, you know, next to every great businessman is the better half that got him there. you know?
Absolutely.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the wife and the kids and
Yeah, gladly do
Yeah.
that. You know, I was lucky enough to meet my wife actually at a CrossFit gym here in Huntington Beach.
oh wow,
They're still in business today. They're called Red Wolf CrossFit.
oh yeah, I know him. Yeah.
They're over off of Gothard and Edinger. They've that's their new I say new location. They've been there for 5 years now. They used to be
they're
off
right
of-
down
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah, right at the end of
I
Gothard.
know
Yeah.
where they're at.
I drive by it all the time.
and great people. And met my wife there working out. It's really hard to, flirt with somebody at the gym. So I had to play it really slowly to, be respectful and all of that. And, lucky enough, she liked me as much as I liked her. And she got a job offer, actually, about 6 months after we had started dating in Colorado, which is where she went. She's a doctor of pharmacy, so she's a lot smarter than I am.
Yeah, they all are.
Yes, and she got offered a job to go back and work for the University of Colorado, which is where she went to pharmacy school. And I said, you know what, this is a good opportunity. Let's take it. We did long distance for almost a year until I found a job.
You stayed
out
here.
there.
She stayed. Oh wow.
Yep, I would leave my job at the city of Huntington Beach. I worked a 980 schedule.
No kids.
No kids
Right.
at the time. I worked a 980 schedule where I'd have every other Friday off, and I'd take a flight out of John Wayne at 6 p.m. every other Thursday, and I'd fly out there, and I'd take a flight from Denver at 6 a.m., and, that following Monday, I'd fly out, go home, get changed, go to work. And we did that for almost a year. I got offered. I got
really
offered a
did like
job.
her.
Oh, I know. I'm very lucky. Let's put it that way. But then I got offered a job out there, went out there, proposed to my wife actually in the CrossFit gym that we met at. And then after I'd gotten a job offer and then moved out there in May of 2019. We were married in September of 2020. We've got a 4-year-old son and a 19-month-old daughter. Life is great
You got married during COVID.
during COVID.
So did my wife and I. We had to go to Santa Ana, and we had to wear a mask. We were only allowed one person with us, a witness. And there was a part in the reading when she was saying, our vows and stuff. And she said there was a part where it was written down. I even asked her. She goes, "You may now remove your mask and kiss your bride." And I said, "It doesn't say." Instead of kissing her, I go, "Does it really say that?" And she said, she showed it to me. I go, "Okay," and I kissed her and I put my mask back on.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you were still able to do it. That was, that was good.
And what's your wife's name?
Her name's Ashley.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
She's wonderful and definitely my better half. Let's put it that way.
We all say that. Yeah.
Right.
We all have that. As I say, next to every great man is the woman that got us there.
Especially since she's watching right now.
Oh, yeah.
She's Thursdays are her busy days at work. So
Hey, Ashley.
I'll send her the recording. And
No,
she'll
she's
listen
watching
to it.
us right now because when she sees this show, it's going to be where she's watching it. So good. We speak.
Good point.
You spoke very highly of her. He loves
That's
you.
true. That's true. I do. I do.
And then the kids.
Yeah, so my son Augie, he's short for Augustus. He was born on August 1st, 2021, hence the name. And he is just a little rock star. He's the best thing ever. Made me a father. It's the greatest. Honestly, the greatest thing ever. He was born deaf in both ears. He has cochlear implants. But he is the smartest, strongest little dude I've ever met, and
he hears well with these
he
implants.
hears amazing with the cochlear implants, and he's working on sign language. I'm trying to work on sign language, but it's a lot harder for me to learn than him, apparently.
My son actually learned sign language.
Nice.
He didn't need to; he just did
Yeah.
it.
Yep. And then my daughter is named Delilah, and
cool.
she looks exactly like me when I was a baby. to the point where we're right now staying at my mom's house while we're trying to get moved into our place. And my son walks up to me last weekend and he goes, "Daddy, why is there a picture of Delilah on the wall?" And it was a picture of me. And it was just like, oh, all right. Well,
Unreal.
like, it's not just me that thinks that. That's pretty cool.
She does look like you.
Yeah.
So Delilah and Augustine.
Augustus.
Augustus.
Yep.
How old?
Augie is 4. Delilah is 19 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys don't waste any time, man.
I know. It's
Got married, got a kid right away, and then wait a couple years, and get another kid going. Yeah, there you go.
We were very
Insta-family.
lucky. We got married on September 3rd, and we found out we were pregnant with Augie on Black Friday.
Oh,
so
wow,
it was
man.
worked out great.
I don't know. So back to business, back to the HB. I told you I was a member of the HB Chamber for about 5 years, and I told you the story, and so I've recently this year joined again. I got to get Don over there and sit through some meetings with me because I actually joined under HB Unplugged, not my Revivify company. So I actually joined under HB Unplugged. Yeah. So we got to start attending some of the meetings.
We were at the big meeting. Didn't I ask you and Karen to come?
Yeah. That was when Don got an award and all this stuff. It was cool.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he got
the heartbeat of Huntington Beach.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming what we're going to do is we're going to have somebody put our name in the hat for best podcast show.
Well, you know what? Best of HB nominations are
Yeah,
open right now.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, we got to get the thing. I just saw that and I go. We got to get somebody to nominate us, Don, so we can put that in. So, like I said, I was a member, and the coolest part of the HB Chamber. Well, first off, the city of Huntington Beach is such a close knit community. Everybody knows everybody, and I remember going to my first meeting. It was like, wow, I wasn't a stranger. Yeah. I'd already known a bunch of people that were in it. And so that's how I really grew my name in this community, as being part of the chamber. That's really what propelled me my first, 4 or 5 years back in Huntington Beach. I was here in 1980 and then back in 2010.
Nice.
And I met Don through the car industry. So, when I try to tell people, the importance of, especially if you're a small business person and you're trying to build your business, it seems ludicrous that you're not part of your chamber in your community. It's because everybody's like-minded there. Everybody wants to share everybody's business. Everybody wants to give each other help because we're all struggling, we're growing companies. And why don't you, kind of capitalize on that? Because this is really, this is a perfect time to get some new members coming in too, because people don't realize what the chamber has to offer on a business side.
I always like it when they do grand openings. And
the ribbon cuttings.
It's pretty special.
No, those are great events, and honestly, there's so much more value that the chamber can bring outside of just the networking and the B2B, and that's kind of the stuff that we are. Part of my vision and what we're trying to do forward. I filmed an intro video with Sean actually on Tuesday that we released on our social media. And
I saw it at the Pier Plaza.
Yes, sir. And one of the things I talked about on there is, if you are a business in Huntington Beach, you have a voice at the table through us here at the chamber. And that's members, that's non-members and things like that. And, I get it. Sometimes small business owners don't have time to take away to go to networking events or ribbon cuttings and things like that. So one of the things we're really trying to work on is building out that value-added proposition for our members.
So everything is, I've always said that was the only thing I saw about the HB Chamber they weren't doing back then.
So exactly. So for example, if you believe in the mission and what we're trying to accomplish, I'm going to be telling our members routinely, these are the things we're doing to advocate on your behalf. We're meeting with these city officials. I was just at an Orange County Business Council economic analysis event, for example, to kind of keep our members notified, up to date, in knowing that we're advocating for them on their behalf when they can't make it to these things. So that's why, please support the mission, support what we're doing here. One of the things I told the board, one of my key components that I want to do here in really the first 6 months, the first 30 days, 30, 60, 90 days is really me going out in the community, having conversations like this with city officials, with businesses, with chamber members, with chamber non-members, with former members, with our board of directors, with really anybody in the community who wants to have a conversation, wink, wink, right?
Yeah.
And the point of that is we're going to take that data that we've gathered from these conversations, and I'm going to put together a new strategic plan for how the chamber's operating in the future.
Here's one of those meetings right now.
Exactly. This is exactly the point. I want to hear what people, really what people's thoughts are. What would give you value from the Chamber of Commerce, right? And we're going to really put together a plan so people know we're out there advocating for them every day. And you can support the mission by being a chamber member and you'll get your other benefits, but you can also know in the back of your head that we are out there having conversations with the city. We are out there advocating on the county, state level, to make sure that your interests are always at the forefront.
So many small businesses here in Huntington Beach, they're in it alone. I will say that, but now I'm going to preface this by saying they don't need to be in it alone.
Absolutely.
That so many people, they carry so much weight and stress on their shoulders to try to make their business a success when they don't need to do it alone. They have support like the HB Chamber.
Exactly. Like my goal really is to, like I say, you have a voice. If you can't be at these meetings, reach out to me because my job is to be at these meetings. My job is to be interfacing with the city. My job is to be interfacing literally on all levels. We had our government affairs committee meeting today with Assemblyman Trita. Like, for example, our goal is to try to connect and be advocating for the interests of our community nonstop. So if you can't be at every event, that's okay. You'll still get value out of a membership by being a part and letting us know your concerns so we can take them and move them forward.
And where do they find that information?
Well, let's
obviously on the website. I'm assuming.
The chamber website has it. We've got our whole membership packet listed up there. People are welcome to email me as well to set up a time to meet. My email is mdaffron@hbcoc.com.
Yeah.
And
we'll post that, as you can see. It's going to be right up there. So
perfect. But that's the thing. It's reach out. Let's have a conversation. Tell me what would provide a value to you, and I'll tell you how we'll make it happen. We're here really to help advance the interests of our community.
I mean, for the HB community watching right now, you have to understand what you're hearing, because especially for the HB small business community, which Don and I both fall in that category big time. Don's been
49
years here in Huntington Beach, and me since 2010 with my business, which is national business. So I look for that support. That's why I joined the Chamber of Commerce, and that's why I'm a part of my HB community. And I try to get involved in meeting Don. It wasn't hard to do because I just hold on to Don's shirt, and he drags me everywhere.
He's everywhere. Everywhere.
I just hold on to his shirt, and I get to meet everybody and anybody, and find out what's happening in our community. So that's really good that you're doing that. Yeah,
no,
fantastic.
It's great.
What is the end goal here for the chamber? What is it like? Are we going to have our own office? Is the HB Chamber going to have its own office? And
well, right now we're at Golden West College.
Yeah.
We're working with them as they're going through, their reconstruction of their old facilities, building new facilities and stuff like that. We're working with them on movement. At some point, it would be great to have a standalone building somewhere with the chamber logo on it. It's a little more accessible, but now
I thought we were talking that you may be moving into the Surf Museum if we move out.
I've heard a rumor of that. I'm doing a little bit of digging on that.
Well, I'm
more information. I'm not trying to break any news here. But no, that's the thing. That's one of those things.
Oh my God, that would be an awesome location.
It would be a phenomenal location, frankly.
Just enough parking.
There's parking, there's accessibility, there's being within the central business district. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are benefits to being at Golden West College. They're amazing partners as well. Right. But having the ability to be on the forefront in the community, those are incredible opportunities. It's something I hope works out. But, I've worked in the economic development field long enough. I know nothing's official until you're in the space.
Well, the nice thing about that is how many you'd probably increase your walk-in traffic tenfold.
Tremendously. I mean, we basically do not have walking traffic at our current location.
Yeah, that would be just fabulous to have that. Yeah. Don, anything you want to?
No, I like listening to how Max is describing all this, because in my mind, I'm thinking when it was like to not have the Chamber of Commerce here in Huntington Beach, when it was the small town that I grew up in, and it was so much different.
So you're saying there wasn't a chamber at one time?
Not that I knew of. We're talking 60s and 70s.
There theoretically was, because we are a 120-year-old organization. But to your point, I don't know, even in the time that I was working at the city of Huntington Beach, I would interface with the chamber. And I always felt at that time that I wish the chamber had been doing more direct advocacy level.
So wait.
Right?
So the HB Chamber in Huntington Beach goes back 120 years?
Yes, it does.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're a very old organization.
Unreal.
But the traditional chamber model, and you'll see this nationally, this is not anything unique to Huntington Beach. The traditional chamber model of we're just going to do golf tournaments and B2B stuff and this, that, and the other is on the decline.
Might do a
everywhere.
surf contest once in a while.
Exactly. It's about how do you reposition that organization to stay relevant? And there are examples of those throughout the country. For example, the largest economic development group in the state of Colorado is called the Metro Denver Economic Development Corporation, which is an arm of the Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce, right? Oh. So there are examples nationally of chambers that have really broken out of that. We're just here to do fundraising type things and actually go out there and provide real level advocacy
support and help.
Support for our businesses, right? I was talking
and that's
to some
so
of
needed. That's so, I respect that big time.
I was talking to some of the staff today. How do we partner with the SBDC, especially if we were to move into a location downtown? Because that's where you want to do things like office hours for people who are trying to start a business in their garage, but need somewhere to go to have a conversation on what is budgeting, what is a P&L, like what are all of these things?
That's you'll hit a home run. And that is a grand slam.
That's the type of stuff that, it exists, but it's about accessibility for the business community.
Now, will the chamber have the talent to do that? It's not like you're just going to hire some receptionist or somebody's got to have some talent behind that.
We've got a lean and mean machine. I mean, Tina, who does our events.
Oh, she's amazing.
Phenomenal.
I love her.
I went to Sean on Tuesday, and when we were at the Veterans Day event, and I was like, I am floored by the amount of work that Tina does. I'd been in this job for a day and a half, and it was that evident,
And she's kind of behind the scenes. It's not like she's out there. Hey, look at me and you do that. She's so humble about what she does. I mean,
she is.
There's a lot of events that we do, I'm part of, and she's behind the scene making it all happen.
When I saw her downtown, and I didn't see her, she saw me, and she walks up and says, "Hey, Mel, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh my God, you remember me?" Like, she's that's the kind of stuff that just is mind blowing. Yeah, yep. And that's what I mean by talent. The talent that, as a small business owner, if I made that phone call. As a smart small business owner, if I made that phone call, you can read through the BS. You know what I mean? And if somebody's really got the talent behind helping me in my endeavor to have more or better my success or my exposure in the community.
Absolutely. And, we've got like a part-time marketing person. We partner with Matt Liffring as well, who does a lot of filming stuff for us. We're a lean and mean machine. And really for chambers to be successful, more than talent, it's about coalition building and connecting the right dots, right? So like if we were to partner with the SBDC, they have field offices throughout the country. There's several in Orange County.
Let people know what that is.
That's the Small Business Development Center. That's through the SBA, federal government program. Right. And for example, in my previous role, I had a contract with the SBDC to come and provide, because my office was in the downtown in the community I worked in Colorado. And I had a contract with the SBDC to twice a month to come in and provide open office hours for 3 hours. For 3 hours twice a month, and there would always be a line. And it was a very minimal contract amount. And they would come out. They would they'd have a call. We would provide their information. They would schedule meetings in advance sometimes, and they'd come and they'd post up in our office, and they would have basically a revolving door of people coming in to have those conversations. And it's really about those partnerships more than anything. Like, I've seen some chambers that have a ton of staff. Like I said before, we're lean. That's okay. It's about, especially in a community like Huntington Beach, the point you made earlier, how interconnected this community already is a huge advantage.
Yeah, you got to get. Yeah, that's good for you.
And that helps us. That's why I was thrilled as a Huntington Beach local to be able to come in here and take this role, because it's going to help with that coalition building. I still have a lot of contacts at the city. I still have a lot of contacts in the business community. Actually, funny story, if you don't mind. I accepted the job. Gosh, I sent my letter in, I think it was like the last week of August. And we negotiated a contract, doing all of that. And we're like, all right, we're going to release a press release, but we don't want to release it too early, because you want to cue those things up so there's a level of excitement, right? You don't want to release a press release and then have me start 2 months later, because then people will be like, oh yeah, the chamber hired a new guy.
Oh yeah. Like, it dies. Yeah, so, the excitement's gone.
And so we had planned it. We're like, all right, it's going to go out 2 weeks before I get there. I'm going to get there. We're going to do this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. One of our board members reaches out and goes, the word is out. Like people are approaching us and talking that you are coming back. We need to put this press release out. And I was like, oh God, I wonder, like, and I had told one person, it was my barber. and I know he had not intended to tell anybody to make it a big deal. But so many people had found out that I had board members being approached at the air show about it.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, so those networks still have a
Your
little bit of
barber
juice,
let the
right?
cat out of the bag.
Yeah, and it's just, and it was the funniest thing ever.
Your barber.
And and guess what? I only told him because I went into him the day before my final interview to get a fresh haircut.
Yeah.
And he's like, as a condition, you got to tell me if you get the job or not.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I told him, I'm like, hey,
I got the
you know,
job. Yeah.
DL and
That's funny.
Yeah,
and
the barber or the salon girl, they're all like your personal physical, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Psychiatrist or what, they're like, you pour your heart out to them.
Psychotherapy.
and him and I are good buddies. I mean, I went
Of course,
to him,
that's how it always is.
I went to him when he started cutting hair in Huntington Beach in like 2014. And I went to him, once a month, every month until I moved in 2019. And then every time I'd come home for Christmas or whatever,
a haircut.
I'd get a haircut and shoot the shit.
It's all right, shoot
we
the
can swear,
shit,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a podcast. Sorry, I used to host radio shows, and I didn't want you to have to hit the dump button on me.
Yeah.
And we'd shoot the shit and talk about whatever, so I came in and told him I had an interview. He's like, "You just got to tell me if you get it." I'm like, "All right." And it just
you
went
tell him.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's what do they call it in Hawaii? Coconut. What do they call that? Coconut communication. You say one thing and it just goes over the whole island. Like
Exactly.
the next day, it's everybody knows your business. Yeah. Well, anyway, talk a little bit about your growing up in Huntington Beach. So you grew up here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up in Huntington
Do you
Beach.
surf, by the way?
I used to be a huge body surfer back
Oh,
in the day
okay,
when I
cool.
was significantly less fat. But no,
Significantly less fat.
my brother's got a surfboard. He used to surf, but body surfing was my thing. But so I grew up in Huntington Beach. I was born in Fountain Valley Hospital when I was 6 years old. My mom moved into the Newland tract right across the street from Newland Elementary.
Oh, yeah.
In the neighborhood behind Lucci's. And I went to Newland. And then I was a Talbot Thunderbird, and the T-Birds. And then I went to Edison High School. Graduated Edison High School, class of 09. When I was at Edison, I did.
They won the CF championship.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many jokes about that, and like my group chats with all of my old has-been buddies, and about like, they finally redeemed themselves for how bad our year was. We were terrible in 2009 at football. I'm glad I did not play that year. I was also not that great, so I was better at other sports. But I did Model UN when I was at Edison, the Model United Nations program, which frankly was a phenomenal program to prepare me for public speaking throughout my career and through college and all of that jazz. I would recommend it to anybody that's thinking about it with their kids. I did that program. I got a Golden Key Award from Edison High School for that, which is a big, that's their big academic award
it's a
for
huge
seniors. And then I actually freshman year I did baseball, football, and wrestling. Obliterated my knee in a wrestling match sophomore year, and so then I did track and cross country.
Even after your knee injury?
Oh yeah, I mean those are less impact if you can believe.
Yeah, I can't believe
But,
that. It'd be hard to believe.
But no, had a great time. I've got a little plaque that my mom keeps in her house. I was the team captain of our track team my senior year of high school, and it was a good time. And after I graduated from Edison, I went to the University of Arizona for my undergrad, which was in criminal justice.
Party school.
Yeah, well, it can be if you want it to be. It was great when I had friends visit.
Yeah.
But and then after that, I actually ran a campaign for county supervisor because I needed an internship, and I really started to get involved in like local government type stuff.
Wow.
And I kind of fell in love with that world. The way I expressed my love of economic development, and especially because I'd done municipal economic development for, basically the last 13, 14 years, is I do this work because I can't stand bad government, because you have to, as a business owner, engage with your local government. There is no option to not engage.
Yeah.
So it better be a good experience, right? And so that's kind of what motivates me to do my work every day, even in this role, right, is advocating and working with the municipality to try to make that experience as good as possible for our businesses and getting two sides to talk, because that's sometimes the biggest issue is a business will be confronted with an issue and they'll get upset about it, and then they'll be upset or town staff will be upset back at them. And instead of sitting down and talking out the issue, it becomes two sides that don't like each other. And I don't like that. I want people to get along in the same.
Wow,
box,
great. God, we need more of that in this country.
From the business community standpoint, right? I mean, the business community is actually the lifeblood of your municipality. That's what it is. If the business community does not like doing business here, your community will wither away. That's what happens.
Yeah.
But sorry, didn't mean to go off on that tangent.
No. It's actually good because, I mean, look at the separation we see in the country today.
Well,
and,
I mean,
and to see that, I mean, I'm just getting to know you now during this podcast show, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, the city couldn't have picked a better president for the chamber.
No, I'm very excited.
You can pay me the money later for me saying that.
I'll take it. I'll also come on the show whenever you want. But no, and then I went and got my master's in public administration at that point. After I took a little gap after I got my bachelor's, while I was completing my master's, I had a job working for Pima County, Arizona, for the Pima County supervisors, just like our county supervisors here. But then I needed an internship, and I was lucky enough to get an internship with the city of Huntington Beach.
Oh, wow.
And I worked for Kelly Fritzl at the time, who's now the director of the downtown bid.
Yeah.
That internship became a full-time job, which became me working at the city for about 6 years. And then, it was a great time. I did a lot of fun projects. I stood up the film permitting program for the city of Huntington Beach literally from the ground up, and helped with the establishment of the homelessness task force, and helped with the closing of all the successor agency documents from the redevelopment agency authority and all that jazz. But did a lot of work at Huntington Beach.
Wow, unreal.
And really loved the work, obviously, because I grew up here. There's nothing better than that, frankly.
Yeah, you're home, but you work at home. Like like Huntington Beach is your home.
Exactly.
And you're working at home, yeah.
And there's
It's not like you're driving to L.A. or Long Beach or Costa Mesa.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's great to live and work in Huntington Beach because it's a phenomenal city.
When he emailed me and asked about the podcast and that, and I told him we're on the northeast corner of Warner and Graham, and I knew in his head, growing up here, he knows exactly where that is. It's not like he had to chase it down. He's
easy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing, man. And it's so fun, actually, like being a local in Huntington Beach and knowing the community and the culture. And I understand the hesitancy that so many of our residents have for different things that happen here and there. And what's great and what I've had a lot of success with them is helping to be able to articulate their concerns in a way that municipal staff can understand, or that other people can. So back to the point we were talking about a second ago. So everybody can get along in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things that are important for the well-being of the city and the residents and financial stability. And it's important that we all understand that and are speaking the same language, right?
It's amazing that you bring that up because we had Kevin Elliott on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And within weeks of the show being public, going on YouTube and our HB Unplugged channels and all that stuff, people started contacting me saying, wow, I had the wrong idea about the air show.
Yeah.
Because he really explained very well what it takes. Like so many people, they complain, I don't know why there's money involved. The pilots fly for free. There's a lot of stuff that they don't see. Okay, that might be free, but this is not free. Putting them up in a hotel, giving them food. I mean, all this stuff that comes. And he really showed us, and it really
laid it all out.
Yeah, and a lot of people were go downtown and stuff. Hey, Mel, that Kevin Elliott show, that was really interesting. I had no idea that that's what he went through, or that's what everyone goes through to get that show off the ground. I was like, yeah,
absolutely.
man.
Absolutely. I mean, actually, Kevin's on my list of people I need to reach out to. But I remember when the air show started because I was working at the city at the time, and we ran a tremendous amount of financial analysis at the time, which we presented to city council in a city council meeting about the financial benefit of the air show. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into putting this on. The security alone, is insane.
Yeah.
And you know what? Frankly, I'd rather have it be a safe event, right, than cut corners. But the notoriety and the traffic and all that it drives down to our businesses is tremendous, and those are very important things for our community. Like
they don't consider. I mean, if someone is talking negative about the air show or something that they see isn't right with the air
or any
show,
of the events,
they're not considering the whole thing that it happens to our town. Personally, for me, and I talk to Kevin Elliott about this all the time, is the amount of patriotism that it generates, and you can't put a price on that.
No. Zero.
And it's unreal. And I get VIP and all that, but there are a couple times where I'll just go down and be on the beach with everybody, and everybody is so stoked.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I never really seen anything like it. And like I say, I'm on the 4th of July executive board. I do a lot in this town, and I've been here for 62 years. It's the best thing that ever happened to our town.
And it's, what,
Is the
you'll
Pacific
see
Air
that,
Show.
like my mom's neighborhood, right, in the Newland tract. You're talking Adams Magnolia. You will see neighbors throughout the neighborhood in lawn chairs on their lawn.
Oh yeah, watching
hanging out, watching the planes.
especially on Friday.
Yeah, and it's a great time. It's the sound of freedom, man.
Oh yeah, it's like
And I get it. Like you can't please everybody. I know some people, have concerns, and that's okay, and they're allowed to have concerns. And it's about the greater good and what's good for our
Everyone.
community.
Yeah.
And you know what? One of the things I'm so excited about being back here in Huntington is the pride in our community.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Like, I'll tell you, I lived in Colorado for 7 years. There's not a city in that state that has half as much pride in their community as Huntington Beach has in Huntington Beach. And that's an incredible asset when you're talking about business attraction and retention and economic development and all of that. People want to live in places where they like to live and they can be proud to live.
It's
That is
funny.
important.
My company is national.
Yeah.
And I deal with a lot of people in a lot of states, and they'll always ask me the question, "Hey, where's the HB headquarters? Where's the the Revivify headquarters?" I'm so proud every time because we're in Huntington Beach, California. Huntington Beach. You live in Huntington Beach. You're the Revivify's in Huntington Beach. I want to come for training.
Yeah.
It's a great journey to make it a destination to be at. And I think people see, and when I talk to people from all states, all communities in all states, I'm bringing Revivify applicators on board. And it's amazing because they all like, oh, wow, you get to live in Huntington Beach, man. That's cool. It's just that much of a little plus, especially if I'm trying to bring somebody new on board our team.
Yeah.
I want to join. I want to be part of you. Yeah, I want to get out to Huntington Beach one day, so I'll do it.
Exactly.
It's a big plug for us.
No,
yeah.
and it's great. Don, you were at the State of the City Chamber event yesterday. That video that the city put on, I was ready to run through a brick wall, man. I hope they take that and they advertise it and they put it on the city website because that was phenomenal.
It was so well done.
Who did it? Matt Lefring?
I think they did it in house. They have got like a media team in there.
Oh, okay.
But it was phenomenal. I hope they really utilize that for marketing and broadcasting the city. And you know what?
Totally agree.
The mayor gave
excellent.
The mayor gave a fabulous speech, and Mayor Pro Tem also as well.
Casey
And
McKeon
it was
excellent.
a great
Wow.
showing.
I didn't
by
see
the
it.
City. And glad to be a part of it. I got to MC it on my third day on the job.
Wow, there you
great.
go.
Yeah,
It was great. How'd I do, by the way,
thought you
Don?
did great.
All right, good.
Yeah. Well, as long as everybody applauded.
I know I'm there on
They
Monday.
all loved you to your face. It was when you walked out the door.
it was good,
Just kidding.
actually.
If Don said it was good, it was good.
It was good. It
Well,
was a good event.
And it was great. Honestly, I came to the office on Monday and I go, hey, so I know this event's on Wednesday. You want me to MC it? And the staff's like, would you? And I'm like, yeah, are you kidding me? Let's do it. We'll jump right in. We'll have a good time.
We were going to ask you, but we didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, man. That's why I'm here, right?
Awesome. God, I wish I would have went. I was tight.
It's okay. There'll be another one next year.
Yeah.
We're also working for next year a state of public safety event as well, which will be a lot of fun.
Oh, what is that going to be?
So that's going to be kind of talking about some of the things we highlighted in the State of the City this year, where we talked about, reduced crime throughout the city. We also talked about, did you see the stat, Don, about the no drownings from our Marine Safety Division?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I have never seen that growing up in Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
Never, ever. And that was
I agree.
really, unbelievable.
Do we even have crime in Huntington Beach? It's like
We do.
Yeah.
Chief Parra talked about. He gave the statistics out, but if considering how big our town is and how much crime there is in the county and in this part of the state, we are so lucky.
Yeah. Of
Well,
course
we're very lucky, and there's always going to be elements, and there were elements when I was at the city of criminal elements coming down from LA County and things like that that'll take over PCH and areas and stuff like that. But the Huntington Beach Police Department has always been, in my opinion, one of the best in this state.
Yeah, I remember Rob Handy. He was the
Yep, Rob was here when I was here.
So I remember he called me on the phone. He says, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" And I said, "I'm not doing anything." And he goes, "Hey, we're trying to round up a bunch of people. We need to board up all the windows downtown because there was going to be some big
there was
Black
a
Lives Matter
thing, and
thing,
also
and they were,
Antifa.
they were afraid that they were. Rob was telling me, because he had his truck in here in my shop, we were taking care of it, and he was telling me that what they do is they stash weapons or bricks or rocks or stuff in different places,
in alleys,
and so they knew that those are weapons they can throw through glass and stuff. So I said absolutely. So Home Depot, I guess, pitched in all the wood, and we went down there, and all kinds of volunteers showed up.
Yeah,
I had a screw gun with me, my toolkit, and boarding up all the windows, and
I did that with Rock and Fig on the 3rd block, and
that's right.
It was
we all had to
and
pitch
then,
in,
and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, they saw that we weren't going to put up with it, and they
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is that you have the correct community and police response to things like that, and it keeps your community safe.
Yeah.
Really, it does. It's an attitude thing more than an action thing. Like you make those decisions clear that we're not going to tolerate this in our community, and those nefarious groups will, for the most part, will stay away.
I think that's the thing about Huntington Beach PD. The HB PD is proactive, not reactive.
Absolutely,
they're really good at that. Really good at that.
And I'll tell you, I've met Chief Parra at a couple of events this week, and he's been fabulous so far.
Yeah.
Him
Really
and
good
him
guy.
and I are trying to get lunch on the calendar, and the amount of support he expressed. That Travis, the city manager, as well, and the city has been a great partner so far, and I mean they always have been, and I am really, really, really excited and looking forward to the future.
Well, I think we're really excited to have you. I mean, it's really cool to finally have somebody sit in that seat and really take charge. And based on what you're saying, I think this year we're going to see some cool stuff happen.
No, I sure hope so. And I'm always happy if you want to have me come in here every couple months or twice a year or something.
Yeah,
like
we'd
that.
love
Always
to.
happy to
Absolutely.
talk about updates,
Yeah.
events, what's going on, what we're seeing.
Yeah.
We can talk about economic forecasting and all that jazz as well too. I mean, those are all important things that impact the work that our businesses do. Right?
Well, I think one of the things that Don and I want to do, especially with the chamber, is team up with you guys. Make this one of your venues. To help with what you got to do, and we bring you back on, and make it a ongoing thing.
we're going to do that with Chris Epting.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was here last week.
Yeah, he really wants to use it, and why start your own podcast when you can join up with us and we can do it together?
Exactly. You've built an audience base. You have all of that.
Yeah. We're dialing it in really good. Well, Don, anything else?
No, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'm very happy
You
to
got
be
the right
home.
man for the job.
When
that's for
I
sure.
saw you, because I'd already heard, and I already saw I actually looked you up and stuff.
Yeah.
And I walked up to you and hi.
I didn't recognize you at first. I was like,
you might not have known me, but you said I said yeah, I know who you are.
I'm pretty sure I met you once or twice.
Yeah. And I said I know who you are, and that's when I said I walked up to you because I said, hey, you're brand new, you're getting started here. Let's kick you off with a bang and get you on the podcast show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so everyone can get to know who you are and what you're all about and what you have to offer the community. And I don't know about the rest of the community, but when you meet somebody like Max here and you see your heart and soul is really into it. We could tell that right off the bat. And I think everybody who's watching this show will see it.
I really appreciate
if
that.
somebody wants to get in touch with the HB Chamber and join, what's their next step?
First things first, shoot me an email. mdaffron@hbcoc.com or come check out our website.
We'll have that. We'll have that up there too. Yeah, and a phone number.
Oh gosh, I don't remember my
Oh,
phone
that's
number
all right.
yet. I'm sorry.
We'll get all that.
I'll
up
get you
there,
my
yeah.
card and it's
Yeah,
got all that on it.
We'll get it up on the boards. Everybody will see it as we're talking. There it is.
Feel free to reach out. I live off of my email and my scheduling off my email schedule and all that. So please hit me up. Reach out. Let's happy to get a coffee on the calendar with any businesses in Huntington Beach.
Cool.
Like I said, that intro video, my philosophy when I'm here is if you are a business in Huntington Beach, you have a voice and you have a voice at the table. So let's all work together and we got this. This is the best city in California, and by far, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're with you.
And as I always told my mom, when we moved out of California, and she said, "Would you ever come back?" I said, "The only reason I would ever come back would be to be in Huntington Beach." Oh. And so I'm happy to be here. My wife is thrilled to be here. My kids are having the time of their lives.
You got to get them in the water as soon as you can.
Oh yeah, I know. I know.
Have them meet Duke, so Duke can get them set up on their first board.
You're right.
Push him into some baby waves.
Yeah,
Let's get them surfing.
Yeah.
My son loves the water. I gotta get him in more swim lessons. He's had a couple, but we need more.
Junior lifeguards in Huntington Beach is amazing. But I put my kids.
Program.
They went through 5 years of junior lifeguards.
Nice.
And it was the best thing. They always tell me, Dad, that was the best thing. They're both surfers, and they're like, Dad, that's the best thing that ever happened. I mean, for them to jump off the pier in Oceanside, that's what they did. All the junior lifeguards had to jump off the pier as part of their part of the program. And
I had a cousin that used to be a Huntington Beach lifeguard for like 10 years too. Like I mean, my family's been involved in this city forever. My dad used to play on a surf rock band called the Fabulous Nomads. They still do a bunch of events.
You knew
them? Yeah. Your dad plays in the Fabulous Nomads.
Yeah, well, he used to. He lives in Idaho now, but the rest of the old band guys like Phil and Scott and all those guys, those are family to me. So
do they still play?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
We have them at Surfing Sundays once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I actually in my final interview, they had me give a presentation to the board, and of course, I had to. I took a couple of pictures of a picture of myself and my brother. In front of the surfing museum for a Battle of the Surf Rock Bands event from 1995.
When they used to be out in the parking lot?
Yep, out in the parking lot. And
I remember.
And my dad on guitar. And
unreal.
And I'll shoot you guys some of those pictures.
Yeah, I'd love to see them.
They're hilarious.
Actually, Alejandro will get those because we're going to put them up on the board. So,
absolutely.
Everybody can see what we're talking
about. And
here.
we can throw those up. And so, you'll know I'm not lying when I say I'm Huntington Beach born and bred. I got photo evidence.
We don't think you're lying.
But no, it's, this community is who I am, and I'm happy to be here, man.
Right.
Well, Max, thank you for joining us on this episode.
Yeah, we look forward to having you back.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot to do together now. It sounds like you can use all the help you can get, and Don and I will do whatever we can to help you do whatever endeavor you're up against. Please reach out to us too.
Absolutely, will do.
Well, thank you very much. I'm Mel Craig,
and I'm Don Ramsey.
Thank you, friends.
Yeah, adios.